Okay, welcome to Vodcast 4.3. We're going to be looking at X-linked traits. You can see here from the definition, an X-linked trait is defined as a gene that is found only on the X chromosome. If you remember from previous Vodcasts, that individuals that are XX are typically female, whereas males have an XY genotype. That brings up an interesting note. When a particular gene falls on the X chromosome, it's not found on the Y. It's simply missing. The Y chromosome is actually missing approximately 200 genes. That means that traits that are found only on the X chromosome tend to be found more in males than in females. And we see here some examples that we'll be looking at shortly and practicing in class would be diseases or disorders like hemophilia, and color blindness. In the next couple of slides, I'll show you why that is in fact. These traits are found more often in males than females. In order to demonstrate this example of hemophilia as an X-linked trait, we know that this gene is found on the X chromosome. So I'm going to assign some letters where the large H typically is a normal condition, and a small lowercase h would indicate hemophilia. So if I took some individuals, mom on the top here, and dad on the side, and I add the letters to indicate the condition that the gene is represented by, it says here that I need a normal female, okay, and I use uppercase letters, these dominant alleles, to represent the mother genotype. And the father is a hemophiliac male. Now notice, I'm going to write a lowercase h only on the X chromosome. If you remember, it's not found on the Y chromosome. Next step would be to fill in my Punnett square, as normally, indicating both daughters here at the top, and both sons, offspring, on the bottom. And then I'll go in and fill in the alleles on the genes themselves. Here we have a heterozygote female, another heterozygous female here. This is our first son, and he would be a normal male. And I have another normal male child. So in this case, even though the father is hemophilia, we see from the offspring, both daughters and both sons do not possess the trait, even though their daughters would be considered carriers. This is a special situation we can look at where both daughters are normal phenotype, but they carry the recessive allele for hemophilia. This slide really demonstrates what we had seen previously in the other problem, but in this case it's the same problem as before, but the lines on those chromosomes do represent the alleles or genes that they inherit, and as you can see that we discovered previously, all daughters in that previous example are what we called carriers. They carry the gene, they do not have the disease, and all sons are normal. In this next example, I'll rewrite our genotypes here. For this idea of hemophilia, the capital H exhibits the normal condition, where the recessive allele indicates this disease of hemophilia. We will fill in the mother and the father on our Punnett square. In this case, we're looking at assigning alleles for a carrier female and a normal male. So the mother, in this case, is a carrier. So we assign one dominant allele here. In this case, she has a lowercase allele indicating the disease hemophilia. For the father, he's normal male, so I'll write a large uppercase letter here, but only one. It's only found on the X chromosome, not on the Y. Now we go ahead and fill in our Punnett square with the two daughters at the top and the two sons on the bottom. I'll now add the alleles on those particular genes. The first daughter is what we refer to as homozygous dominant. Both alleles are dominant. The second daughter, she's a heterozygous. She is a carrier. She does not have the disease hemophilia, but she does carry the recessive allele. For the sons, the first son, I drop that down, and this is a son that has the normal gene. For this last son, if I drop that allele down, notice the allele is recessive. This particular son is affected. He will have the disease hemophilia, and this occurs approximately 25% of the time, or 1 out of 4. As an example of where these genes fall in the chromosomes, this is a much better rendition of the problem we just solved with the carrier female that was the mother and the normal father here. And they've broken down the results even further. We can see that of the daughters, only being 2, half of the daughters are normal, whereas the other half of the daughters are what we refer to carriers. As far as the male offspring, half the male children are normal, and that the other male, the other son, has a condition called hemophilia. The last slide in this series of our genetics unit involves something called a pedigree. As you can see here, a pedigree is simply a diagram, much like a Punnett square. It's used to show those the passage of a particular gene through a family history. You can see here that the circles indicate female individuals and the squares indicate male. Any afflicted individual, like a male or a female that has a particular disease or disorder, would be filled in, and any deceased individuals would be crossed out. If we look at this example on the left side of the pedigree, we see that both the mom and the dad here, for the mother, she is unaffected, but the father is affected. In their offspring, they have 3 children. One male is affected. The second son is unaffected, along with their third child, who is a daughter. So using this practice, this diagram, we can track the presence of genes and disease-causing genes through a family. That's the end of Vodcast 4.3. Move on to your next assignment on the performance matrix. Have a great day.